The Copthorne 50 was to be my second time running the 50-mile distance. Set in the beautiful Surrey hills, the race follows a challenging loop with some steep ascents, technical sections and plenty of steps, with one part of the course named Satan's Staircase. Runners would race one of four distances: 50k, 50 miles, 100k or 100 miles, getting to their distance using a 10-mile loop. After a quick briefing in Mickleham Village Hall, I pinned on my race number and headed to the start line. Okay, so we're about a mile in, very early days, just coming down a part of the course called Kamikaze Hill, rather ominously named. So I think when I get to running in the dark later on, gonna have to be extra careful here. The guy who did the speech at the beginning from Canary Trail Events did warn us about this one. But yeah, about 100 runners out today, doing 4 different distances, and luckily the weather is much better than we expected, so there might be a bit of rain, but not the torrential rain that was forecast about a week ago. Right, we're about 3.5 miles in. Oh, just checking I'm going the right way. Yes, okay, going the right way. Looking out for the signs that the race organisers have put up here. So my plan for today in terms of pacing, it's going to be roughly to try and do a lap per 2 hours. So averaging 12-minute miles. I'm going to see how this strategy goes, and I'm sure that my first one or second one may be a little bit quicker. That could be the case, but overall trying to stick to fairly even pacing and not go off too fast. First stretch of Box Hill steps at about 7.5 miles in. We're going to do this 5 times today, so we're going to get used to seeing a lot of steps. So Jay is up here filming the race today. So do check out his channel, Ultra Distance Runners. So yeah, if you're in the race today, be able to see yourself.
Yes, and likewise,
coming up this hill. You're in a nice spot, Jay.
I know.
You always pick like a nice brutal.
I know.
Absolutely stunning out there. Amazing. It's quite misty, but then also that really bright sun. Right, we're about half a mile from the end of the first loop. We've just hit a part of the course called Satan's Staircase. Lovely name for it. How's it going?
Yeah.
Can we fill it up then?
Oh, that's all good.
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab some potatoes.
How was that first one?
Good, yeah,
Yeah.
very, very good. It's a tough course. I can see it's going to be difficult later on. But yeah, going well so far.
Okay.
On schedule. Good times.
Bye.
Thanks very much.
Bye.
If you're enjoying the video, then please press the like button and do consider subscribing for more videos like this one. So we're on to the second lap now, just about to come down Kamikaze Hill, and must be about 11.5 miles in. Feeling pretty good. First lap I did in 1 hour 52, so pacing is going generally to plan, maybe a little bit quick, but you know, certainly not too crazy for the first lap. So yeah, just trying to pace it well. I've got some potatoes I picked up from the village hall back there, So I've got now those on me, be able to munch on those, and then at the end of this lap it should be about midday, so then I'm going to pick up some sandwiches for lunch. So yeah, hoping to make a pretty good picnic out of today as well. Right, better concentrate. Here's Kamikaze Hill. I got lost a couple of miles back there at about 13 miles, added on probably about half a mile, so not too much, but yeah, just threw me slightly, so I just have to kind of recollect myself, and then just kind of focus. I don't want to be adding on any extra distance today, so just need to look out for those signs along the route, like this one. Yeah, keeping an eye out for those. Just walking up some more steps. There are a lot of steps in this race, so yeah, lots of elevation through steps. I haven't actually taken the poles out with me today for the first 2 laps, but I've got them back in the hall. My plan is to use them a bit later on. I was umming and ahhing about this for quite a while, and I'm hoping it doesn't come back to haunt me later on with achy legs, achy muscles, but I just thought actually for the first couple of laps I want to have my arms a bit more free so I can eat food more easily, and also when I'm running be able to swing my arms more too on long extended down hills like this. So this is actually probably the nicest part of the course, the easiest I should say for running, because it's a smooth gentle downhill all the way towards Box Hill. Then we hit the Box Hill steps with about 3 miles of the lap to go. So yeah, this is very nice running this part. So there are usually some stepping stones just here which we would have gone over during the race today, but the water level is so high because we've had so much rain. Oh god, really almost fell over again there. But the water level is so high because of all the rain we've had recently, so actually we're not going over there. Instead we're going over the bridge just up here. So there it is, the bridge that we're going over. Lovely little spot here. So we got Fumi behind the camera here, who is doing the 100 miler. You're doing the 100 miler today, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, we're about some moody looking cows here. Just gonna walk gently past these. Yes, we're about 23 miles in, so I'm on the 3rd lap. Calves starting to ache a bit from all the hills that we've had already, but overall going good. I've had my sandwiches, and yeah, pacing plan seems to be going to plan. Oh, and also I've got the poles out, so for my 3rd lap I'm taking out the poles, going to see how I get on with them and then decide if I want to use them for the later laps as well. Right, just in time for some more steps. We are just over halfway now, so about 26 miles in, just under a marathon to go, as they say. Yeah, I had a bit of a dip back there. God, it hit me quite hard at the halfway point. Just started feeling pretty exhausted. I think the hills are catching up with me. Feeling much better now though, but yeah, God, had a bit of a energy lapse back there. Yeah, feeling better, even though I'm walking up some steps now, more steps. Yeah, I am feeling better. I think that's something you have to remind yourself with these, that as much as you can feel rotten at a particular point, it can come and go quite quickly. So you just have to have faith in the process, that there is the ebb and flow of these long distance events. We started at 8 AM this morning, so part of the reason why I'm kind of aiming for roughly 2 hours per lap is so I only have to do 1 lap in the dark. So it's going to get dark about 4 PM today, so hopefully I'll just have one head torch lap later on. You know, obviously if I need to take more time I will do, but you know, if I'm thinking about trying to ensure that I'm not out in the dark for too long, then I might run the 4th lap just a little bit fast. I'll see how I'm feeling. You know, it's still on the 3rd lap at the moment, but I'll see how I'm feeling kind of in the middle section of it, to ensure that, you know, I've just got that last lap in the dark and nothing more. But yeah, starting to feel better. Had a good bit of flapjack there. I've been stopping off at the aid station at halfway, and that's given me a bit of a boost. Lovely crew in there, Canary Trail events, volunteers, and so yeah, that's just the boost you need sometimes if you are, you know, having a bit of a low point on a race. Right, so Rui here is just about to finish the 50k. As I mentioned before, there's 4 different distances that are going on today, so Rui is about to come in to the finish line. Well done, mate, well done. How did you find it?
Broken. I thought it had less elevation.
Oh really?
I thought it had 1.5, but it was closest to 2k. So, well.
Hey, but well done.
Thank you.
Yeah, congrats.
Well, good luck for you.
Tough day out. Right, so on the 4th lap, so about 32 miles in, just look at my watch there. Yeah, 32 miles. And yeah, this is a very tough race. I mean, I can, I guess, officially state it at the end, because I will get to the end. I have decided this. Definitely going to get to the end. Major accident. What the hell? Yeah, it's got to that stage where I'm not being able to string sentences together. This happened in the North Downs Way 50, but it was a bit later on. I think the hills didn't take their toll so much as they do on this race. So yeah, difficult, very difficult. I should remind myself, as I always try to say, that being able to do these races and come out and run is an absolute privilege though. Being able to enjoy these trails, it's not something that everyone can do or everyone has the opportunity to do, so this is what I remind myself. I signed up to it, and yes, it is a privilege to be able to do amazing races like this, as grueling as it is right now. So I've got 1 lap left after this. As you can probably see, the light is going down now, so I'm going to have my last lap in the dark, and maybe the end of this one as well. I don't know what I was thinking earlier when I said I might do a faster lap for number 4. That definitely isn't happening. Just feeling a bit too fatigued, but I think it'll be, you know, just the last bit of this lap in the dark, and then 1 lap to go. That one in the dark though, I need to be really careful, because there are quite a lot of roots and some slippy bits too, so especially on Kamikaze Hill, that hill which is a couple of miles into the loop, so I need to watch it on there, and also to make sure I don't get lost. So actually for my last lap I'm gonna just try and make sure I focus on finishing, not falling over, and not getting lost. Those are the main things for the last lap. Oh, lovely little spot to sit here and look out over the Surrey Hills. Beautiful. But one thing I did want to say was just major props to anyone who is out here today doing any of the races, whether that's 50k, 50 mile, 100k, or even mind-blowing 100 miles, 10 loops of this. Not an easy course, definitely my hardest race. Yeah, real challenge. So if you're looking for a challenging race to sign up to, with a nice local feel, you know, there's 100 people in total running today across 4 different distances, great volunteers, really good sense of community around it as well, then, you know, I would recommend this as a really good one to sign up for. That looks very tempting. I could just crawl under there and have a nap here on Satan's staircase. So we've got about a mile to go on this lap. My watch is saying 40.5 miles. So I think by the end, I should be getting something like 51 or 52. That probably is because of the deviation off the course, and then also I think the lap's a little bit longer than 10 miles as well. So for those who are doing the 30k, it can get to the 50k rather, it can get to 31 miles. Right, we're kind of on the home straight. One more lap doesn't sound too much. It is 10 miles, so it's a long lap, but I'm going to think of the number 1 rather than the number 10. And shout out to Steve as well. So I just met Steve back there who watches the channel, and he said that he heard about this event through the channel and he signed up for the 50k. So that's really cool to know that he watched the video and then decided to do one of the races here today. So yeah, good to chat to you, Steve, earlier. In fact, Steve just lives down the road from me, so he also is training around the South Downs Way, lots of the beautiful trails that we have on the south coast as well. Right, it is the last lap, so it's head torch time. Pretty dark out here. As I was heading into the aid station for the 4th time, I heard them saying that the person who is at the head of the 50 mile is just about to come in. So the person who's in first place, they said, oh, 4 minutes away. So amazing running from whoever that person is. Pretty amazing, yeah. Don't get me wrong, I definitely want to get this race done, but there is something about being out at night. It's just quite enchanting with the lights and the sounds. It's very still. See, I don't do too much night running, but I think I may well come out and do some more of it. Probably not soon. I'm gonna take some time to recover after this, but yeah, it's something I definitely would like to do more of. Right, 3 and a bit miles to go. I'm through the last aid station, so now just to get those final few miles done, and I'll see you at the finish. That's the sign I wanted to see for the last time today. Right, I should hurry up and just get this finished. I think it's about half a mile. Bit of gnarly downhill here, so I've got to watch myself with the routes. But then we will be all done and all finished. And yeah, I can't wait to see Carla and her family at the finish line. Yeah, thanks to everyone who supported today. So yeah, my dad and his wife Alison, they came here this morning. They welcomed me in for the first lap. And just everyone who left messages as well. Really much appreciated. Yeah, it does make a difference. I was reading some messages from friends, people who follow the channel, as I was going through particularly those low moments, and it just makes such a difference. So yeah, thank you so much. Oh. Right, here we go. And with that, my final race of the year was complete. It had been my biggest challenge to date, with over 10,000 feet of climbing and some tricky terrain. But I had pushed through, and I was relieved to reach the finish at the village hall. Less than a minute after I came in, the winner of the 100k crossed the finish. Big congratulations to Lyndon Cooper on a superb race. I then caught up with Darius, who came in 2 minutes before me in 3rd place for the 50 miler. I'd come across him with 2 miles to go, seeing his head torch flickering in the distance. I managed to keep him in sight for about a mile, but then we hit Satan's staircase with just a mile to go. To my shock, Darius ran up half of the steps and powered up the second half with lightning speed. It was at that point that I knew there would be no final showdown. I had nothing left and trudged up the steps. It was amazing to see Darius's grit and energy after 49 miles of running. The fires of hell had burned strong that day, but we had all beaten Satan's staircase in our own way. I was proud of what I'd achieved. There were highs and there were certainly lows, but that is what ultra running is all about.